Welcome, have a nice day. Today is Saturday, 8th of July 2023. It is actually a National Video Game Day and National SCUD Day and National Chocolate with Almonds Day. Going towards the history, in 1932, the Indian Air Force was established on this day, that is 8 July. To commemorate its establishment, October 8 is celebrated as Indian Air Force Day. Starting the newspaper analysis with the newspaper, The Hindu states that Amarnath Yatra halted for a second successive day as heavy rain continues in Kashmir. The Amarnath Yatra was suspended for the second consecutive day on July 8 due to the inclement weather conditions. As the rain continued to lash most parts of Kashmir, officials said over 80,000 pilgrims have paid obeisance at the holy cave shrine so far. Central Reserve Police Force CRPF Director General Dr. Sujay Lal Thausen oversees the security arrangements for the Amarnath Yatra on July 6. The Hindu newspaper also states that Dutch Prime Minister resigns because deadlock on thorny issue of migration paving way for new elections. The resignation of Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte, the longest-serving premier of the nation, means the country will face a general election later this year. Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte arrives at General Affairs for consultation on the approach to asylum in the Hague on July 5, 2023. The government is under great pressure due to the difficult negotiation on a migration package, in which the curtailment of the influx of asylum seekers in a particular is leading to major tensions between the four coalition parties. The Hindu newspaper also states that Uniform Civil Code and infinite variety of custom. Rajnath Orion, a field worker for the Advisory Samanway Samiti, speaks to Orion villagers at Masamano, a village located about 40 kilometers from Ranchi. Going towards the Indian Express newspaper states that chased by 2018 violent shadow, Bengal votes for Panchayat polls today. 72,000 seats up for grabs, nearly the same number of central forces jawans to keep a watch apart from state police personnel. Panchayat election officials at an election booth in Sodhpur, Gola, North 24 Paraganas. Indian Express also states that post Galwan in ban and on made in China, rupees 500 crore BSNL deal got through. ZTE linked from the project related to data records is legacy issue officials. The BSNL tender to a Chinese company seems to have escaped the government's attention over Chinese investments in India post skirmishers on the border in May-June 2020. Indian Express also states that divided by partitions, brothers who met 75 years later are separated again now by death. The brothers separated in 1947 during India's partition had reunited at Gurdwara Darbar Sahib in Pakistan's Kartarpur last year on January 10, with the visuals of the tearful duo hugging each other being splashed across publications globally. His family was preparing for a wedding in June when Sadiq Khan made a video call to his younger brother Sikha Khan. The 85-year-old had called from Faisalabad in Pakistan's Punjab to discuss some details with Sikha. Sadiq Khan and Sikha Khan when they met at a Gurdwara Darbar Sahib in Kartarpur, Pakistan in 2022. Going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper states that President Macron to host ceremonial dinner at iconic Louvre Museum on July 14. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be feted by the French President Emmanuel Macron when the lands in Paris on July 13 afternoon to take the India-France ties to a new height. File photo of Prime Minister Modi with the French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte Macron at Elysee Palace. Hindustan Times also states that weather update: rain relashes Delhi. In a meteorological department forecasts heavy rainfall in these three states. Vehicles pass through a waterlogged road after heavy monsoon rains in the Ahmedabad. The rain continued to lash parts of Delhi in the early hours of Saturday, indicating the active presence of the southwest monsoon in the region. The Indian Meteorological Department daily weather update on a Friday predicted a spell of heavy rain across the North India for the next 4 to 5 days. The regions include Jammu, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab, Haryana, West Uttarakhand. Hindustan Times also states that West Bengal Panchayat election TMC says 3 workers murdered as toll rises to 23. Voting for the West Bengal Panchayat election 2023 began at 7 a.m. on Saturday amid tight security, but not before 3 more persons were killed in Murshidabad district, taking the toll to 23 since the poll dates were announced. West Bengal Governor C.V. Anand Bose visits to the house of Congress worker late Falchand Sheikh, who was shot dead in Ratanpur village on June 9 in Murshidabad on Friday. Going towards the economy of the country, McDonald's, India's franchise in North and East, puts tomato off the menu amid price rise claims on non-availability of quality products. Fast food chain McDonald's has stopped using tomato in its food preparation at most of the stores in northern and eastern parts of the country, citing the non-availability of the quality products aimed at the price of the commodity. McDonald's India North and East said it is constrained to hold tomatoes for the time being. McDonald's India's North and East has said it is constrained to hold tomatoes for the time being and is trying to resolve this issue. Sensex tanks 505 points. Nifty closes lower at 19,330 on profit taking after record rally. Among the major Sensex shares, Power Grid fell the most by 2.76%. In the India Bank dropped 2.34%, Whole by 2.23%, and NTPC by 2.04%. People walk by the statue of the bull at the BSE building as the Sensex plunges in Mumbai. Government soon share infrastructure data from Gati Shakti portal with the industry investors. The government is working out a mechanism to share data with the industry and potential investors about a multimodal connectivity as well as the other physical and social infrastructure captured on a Prime Minister Gati Shakti platform, a top official said on July 7. The network planning group NPG under the platform, which has multiple layers of geospatial data from across the country, has so far managed to evaluate and facilitate 85 large central infrastructure projects worth nearly 5.4 lakh crore so far, said Sumita Davra, additional secretary in the Department of the Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. A clutch of projects worth rupees 719 crore, which are essentially disaster risk mitigation measures for the Uttarakhand's Garhwal region, were also taken up. Going towards the world news, including Biden defends a difficult decision to send cluster munition to Ukraine. NATO leaders set to offer Ukraine major support package, but membership is off the table for now. Yellen's visit to Beijing aims to heal rifts over a daunting array of China-United States antagonisms. Israeli forces killed 2 wanted Palestinians in shootout in the occupied West Bank. Owner of the submersible that imploded during Titanic dive suspends operations. Commanding Presence erudite speaker Singapore parliamentarians pay tribute to Indian origin minister. Going towards the science and technology as treatment for migraine evolves, understanding too gets better. Research on diagnosing and treating migraines has evolved over the years. Here is an image of representation which is fed by the migraine disease. Health activists and patient group seek revision of existing biosimilar guideline for increased access to critical drugs. These groups have written to the Central Health Ministry and Department of Biotechnology in this regard. Biologics are the fastest growing class of the medications and account for a substantial and growing portion of healthcare costs. Robots say they won't steal jobs, rebel against humans. Robots are seen on the podium during a press conference with a panel of enabled humanoid social robots as a part of the International Telecommunication Union's AI for Good Global Summit Geneva on July 7, 2023. It is actually about the artificial intelligence whose headquarters is in Geneva. IAEA chief Grossi hint at a discord among the Fukushima reports expert. Rafael Marino, Grossi, Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency, speaks during an interview with the Associated Press at a hotel in Tokyo, Japan, Friday on July 7, 2023. Plastic pollution makes Mediterranean Sea the most dangerous region for the birds. The Mediterranean has been recognized as the most dangerous region to bird species that live and feed there, according to the new research measuring plastic pollution in an ocean that increasingly threatens marine life. At last, there is a famous quotation said by Rabindranath Tagore, whose birth anniversary is 7 May 1861 up to 7 August 1941, was a Bengali poet, writer, playwright, composer, philosopher, and a social reformer and a painter. He reshaped the Bengali literature and music as well as the Indian art with the contextual modernism in the late 19th and 20th century. Author of the profoundly sensitive, fresh, beautiful poetry of Gitanjali, he became in 1913 the first non-European, the first lyricist to win the Nobel Prize in Literature. Tagore's poetic songs were vivid as a spiritual and a mercurial. However, his elegant prose and magical poetry remain largely unknown outside the Bengal. He was a fellowship of the Royal Asiatic Society, also referred to as the Bard of Bengal. Tagore was known by sobriquets as Gurudev, Kobi Guru, and Biswa Kobi. Mr. Rabindranath Tagore says a famous quotation. He says that everything comes to us that belongs to us if we create the capacity to receive it. Okay, thank you.